table in renderer is going to remain unticked. I'll give it a thickness of 1, should be fine. I'm going to bring the radius out a little bit, and then I'm just going to line it up with the head. I'll just go to a left view so I can see that in the viewport. Remember, this is just a control object that allows me to click on it to select it to rotate the head. Later on, I'm going to be moving the pivot point of this down to the correct pivot point location, which is down somewhere in the neck here, much the same as your head is. Now, that's my head object, and what I'm going to do is just name it R_head, R meaning rig. And now what I'm going to do is just go to a front view, and I'm going to grab that. In fact, I might just change the color to make it a little easier to see. I'm going to grab that and hold shift and drag down, and what I want to do is roughly put it down where the pelvis is, and that looks pretty good. And I'm going to use the align tool this time. I'm going to click and align, and I'm going to align to this lower, you can see this large sphere that's inside here. I'm going to click and align that. I was very careful to maintain the axis point of that sphere because it's so crucial to get the pelvis area aligned very accurately. Then it was important to make sure that I knew exactly where that would be. So what this one's going to be is a hip rotator. So I'll just go hip rotator on that one. And then what I'm going to do is in the top view, just going to create a rectangle. Just going to go to a top view, and this one is going to be fairly big. Go to a front view. I'm just going to bring that up, but I'm also going to align that using the align tool to that same sphere object, which is, by the way, this midriff section is linked to that as well. So if I click on that, and what happens is it snaps to the exact same position as the previous ring, and that means it's perfectly aligned. But now I'm just going to slightly bring it down just so that it's easier to grab in a front viewport. In fact, I might just bring the hips up a little higher, probably about there, and then I'll bring the torso up, and to be sure, I'll align it perfectly to that. And you can see there that what I'm left with is a large square, and I'll change the color of that to a red as well. And then I've got a small circle, and that's for the hip alignment there. So I've got my two controllers. This large square is going to be my center of gravity. So COG, it's turned